Lazy Northern Gardener, coming to you from Macomb Township, and I'm going to hill some potatoes using used straw from the ducks. So it's going to have the good duck poop in it that does not burn, and I am going to hill these potatoes. I think you can see them in the photo or the video. They're about a foot tall right now, so I need to cover at least half of them up, half that size. We got storms coming today, mostly winds, so I want to make sure I get this done before the winds come and the straw gets all wet. I use straw, which is different than hay, because hay has seeds and straw, it's basically just straws, it's just the tubes. Hay is the stuff that people feed their animals, like horses, and straw is the sticks that the stems are on. So whenever I can, I like to reuse what I've got on the property. Some people use more soil, some people make trenches, and then fill the trenches, or they put the potatoes in and then they start putting the walls of the trenches in on the plants. But like I said, I'm just using the straw from the ducks, complete with duck poop. So they'll fertilize them at the same time, dual purposes. Down here, that. Some people don't hill them. That's up to you. The Ruth Stout way is to use just straw. She throws them on the ground and covers them with straw. And away she goes. And I've done that in the past. And we got some potatoes. It wasn't a huge amount, but we got some. There we go. I'm going to leave some of the tips above ground so the sun's energy is still captured. Ooh, this is really, it's got a lot of poop in it. Okay. Here. That's a good, oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. They're like tucked in pretty well over here. And then I've got the other section to go. And the other side of those right there. This is a job I don't mind. And the poop doesn't stink when it's dry. So hanging on to this until it was time, until I had time to do it, wasn't a big deal. I still want to wait longer. If I wait too long, I don't know what'll happen. I don't know what happens if I wait too long. If I don't have this method. In there, I just shake the tops off a little bit. Make sure again that the solar panel leaves can still capture the sun's energy. Science. And I actually have a middle pathway just to walk. Whenever you've got a bed, because this bed is like probably 4 foot by 6 foot, but whatever your bed size is, make sure you've got paths every 2 feet at least, because 18 inches to 2 foot is about how far your arm can actually reach. So I do have a pathway over here in the back, and I do have a pathway right in the middle. And some people would say, oh, well then you can't grow as much. No, you can't grow properly things you can't tend. So if I can't get in there in the middle and weed harvest as I want to. It's almost like, why bother? Why bother putting them in? So I want to do a little speech about companion planting. And I want to tell you what the best companion is for your plants. So this, smothering out. There's a little bit of grass on the one edge over here. Smothering that too. It's not competing. I did have to remove the sod in this area, but I had my metal herb bed, the one that's on wheels that rolls. I had that here. It was kind of killing off the grass anyway. There. Okay. That way. Could do this with your grass clippings if you dry them out first. Let them turn brown. That probably could work well. So the best companion, companion planting. Let's talk about companion planting while I'm doing this. My thought is the best companion plant, or the best companion for your plants, is you. It's you. You. You're the best companion for your plants. I don't care what you plant, or where you plant it, and how you plant it. If you can maintain your bed, if you're out there daily, you can see it daily, you can monitor it daily, then you are the best companion for planting, for your plants. Some people say don't plant, I don't know, onions with tomatoes. Don't plant, I don't know. There's all kinds of things that they go around and say. You are the best companion for your plants. So when you hear the word companion planting, think of yourself. Think of the human involved that's going to be doing the work. You are the best companion for your plants. Because you will notice when it needs to be weeded. You will notice if there are insects. You will notice things faster when you can see your plants, and you can take care of any issues that come up much sooner. And if there's anything going on, you can handle it more quickly. All right. Okay. Well, that's all the straw I've got right now. One good thing about doing it this way, hilling it, is that the only leaves that are sticking up above the surface, there's just a few leaves, and there's more leaves underneath. So if, like, Japanese beetles were to come and try to eat the leaves, they can't get all of them. They can only get a couple at the top. Oh, yeah. Just gonna toss that down there. So a little bit of stuff on top of the leaves isn't going to hurt it. Kind of shake it off a little bit. It's not a big deal. The rain's going to come, soak into this anyway. But then the tubers can form underneath the straw, into the straw. And the duck poop will enrich the soil and will cause more leaves to form, and they'll get bigger and bushier, and then pull them some more, because I'm always going to have straw that I have to recycle out of the garden, or out of the coop, that the ducks have pooped on, and then I can recycle it right into the garden. So let's take a look here. There we go. It doesn't look like much difference, but I know definitely down in the middle here, it's a lot higher. The same over there, it's higher than before. And when I get more of it, I will put it in there. I did start hilling the ones in the containers, and since I've hilled them, they've grown, gosh, at least 3 more inches each. Something like that. And what I do with the these containers is I put just a small amount of soil in the bottom with a tuber, and you can see it grows. It doesn't matter. It didn't have a whole lot of soil. It doesn't matter. The potato grew anyway with it was just like, what is it, like 3 inches? Yeah, about 3 inches of soil, which is like 1, 2, 3 on your finger of soil. So if you don't have a lot of soil to start with, you don't need to worry about that. Just put a little bit in, put your potato in, and then when the potato's about 6 inches tall, cover half of it. When the leaves have come up about 6 inches, cover half. And then when they grow another 6 inches or so, cover half of that again. And as you're adding the straw into the containers, the tubers are forming underneath. Nope, not yet. And so I use what do I use? Oh yeah, I used these cloth bags last year for potatoes, and I had them in the back by the onion beds, like behind the picket fence, so the chickens wouldn't get into them. And I really liked using these, but they keep collapsing with the wind or with heavy rains. So I've taken branches and just stuck them inside. So you can see they're like poked across. You see that? Yeah, you can see that. Like poked crossways in the bags. My river birch twigs are really flexible. And then it just keeps the bags open so they can get the sunshine and they can get the rain coming in. Those are raspberry canes right there. That one stayed up on its own. So anyway, that's hilling potatoes. And yeah, I had to get that done before it's gonna rain. It's coming. You see, dark clouds coming around. And yeah, so get you a friend who's got ducks and get you some straw from those ducks. Oh, and see if you can get some duck butt water, because I'm telling you what, I watered my peas. They were only about 6 inches tall, and I watered them with the duck butt water, and they doubled the size overnight. They were mammoth sizes. If you talk to any duck owners who garden as well, and if they use that on them, they're doing some pretty good things. It's good stuff for them, and it doesn't burn like chicken poop. Chicken poop, you can't necessarily just put it right on anything that's green, because it'll burn the leaves. I put it on in the fall when the leaves are falling and everything's like all the annuals are coming out. But I put it on in the fall, and I put it on over the winter time. Like I will literally just dump the old bedding with the compost in the beds, the garden beds, like along the shrubs and stuff, because it's fine for them in the wintertime, because it has time to break down over the season. But you don't want to do it with chicken poop in the growing season, because it's going to burn the leaves. Now duck poop, no, that's not gonna hurt it at all. So anyway, yeah, so those have been hilled. They should be hilled again probably. And I have the straw down for these, and they look pretty happy. And this is my front yard, guys. In my front yard, there goes a tractor. We're zoned agricultural, and this is 24 Mile in Macomb, so it's a really busy highway. And I mean, I feel like I have to shout when I'm talking, when I'm doing these videos for you guys. I need to shout so that you can hear me because of the traffic. So I can't entertain out here. Like, I mean, I got it set up on my front porch here, but that's like very loud still. So instead, I grow food. I got my raised kitchen garden beds right here with trellises, and now I've got some panels. I'm going to grow some zucchini and some cucumbers up those panels on the sides, and they're in the back of the beds. And here we go. They're in the back of the raised beds. So toward me is the south, but even during the growing season, the sun is pretty much overhead. So those panels aren't going to affect anything. If anything, what they're going to help with is wind. So winds that come from the north, winds that come from the west, or solid from the east, it's going to help. And all right. Okay, so let me tell you what I got growing in these beds. Oh, these are 2 4x4x2 wooden boxes lined with landscape fabric. Underneath is hardware cloth so things can't climb up and in. They can't dig tunnels. And then surrounded by pea gravel and metal edging to keep the grass from growing as easily into it. I do have to weed it, so I'll take care of that. But right here is calendula, and I'm going to put my glove in my pocket. So right here is calendula that has grown from seed all by its lonesome. It's very happy. That's a weed. These are onions that I put in about a month ago. So a bulb plant, and I put them in the center of the bed because onions like water. If I put them on the outside of the bed, they don't get as much water. Those are the edges. So I put them in the center. I would love to get more onions growing. That's important to me. For fun and looks, I had tulips. These are going to die out when they turn brown and yellow. I'll cut them at the base. I might pull the bulbs up, or I might just leave them in. Here is some cilantro. Here are some cucumbers. I think these were the, yeah, these are China jade cucumbers, and they should grow up the trellis pretty nicely. I got a couple sets there. I have some chives. I gotta get those out soon. Or take the, chives are good to have in raised beds, as long as you pluck those heads off. You can eat these heads of chives. You can put them in your salads. Or you could toss them up and fry them up. But if you leave the heads of chives on in your garden, raised kitchen garden beds, you're going to have more and more and more chives. But they come off like super easy. Just boop, not hurting them. Boop, boop, just sterilizing them. And like I said, you can eat the heads of chives. And then here was some ornamental thyme. I like it because it's variegated. It's just kind of pretty. And some weeds. Oh, and over there I put a an Italian zucchini in the corner. This zucchini is going to climb up the sides. I'll probably fasten it to the sides, especially because we get such strong winds. But having them fastened and growing horizontally means I'm not going to take up as much space in the bed. I have let them cascade over the sides in past years, but this year I'm going to try on the trellis and see what happens. Over here, it's almost a mirror. I don't have a zucchini, but I will have zucchini over here. And I'll probably put a couple cucumbers on either side. Same with the other side. A couple cucumbers, more calendula. Can't kill it off. Just keeps growing. Orange flowers. Tulip dying out. Again, oregano. No, thyme. Gosh, it smells so good. It smells so good. More chives, more thyme. And these are now 2 years old. They overwintered in here. So I could let them continue to spread, but I probably will pull them when they get too big and split them up and move them different places. Here's some dill. It's coming up on its own. Dill grows really, really tall. Because this is the, I think it's a bronze dill. Or no, yeah, just regular dill. Dill grows really tall. More onions. They haven't started bulbing out yet. And over here are early girl tomatoes. Very happy. Can't wait till they reach this. Because I don't really have any wind protection for them right now. This is kind of protected by, this is an old onion from last year. And it's getting ready to flower. That's basically what allium ends up being. It's like a second year, oh, I forgot what onions are called, but it's like an onion. But these leaves are super thick, super sturdy. It's kind of keeping this tomato from flopping around a lot. Both of those are early girls. I like early girls because they come early. So that's what's in the beds. I love these. I think I'm going to love these. These are new. There's just 2 identical trellis arches. And I can walk under them easily. This is how high I can reach. I'm 5'4", and this is how high I can reach. I still have about a foot up there that can go. So they're not going to be like my cattle panels where, like cattle panels have like holes like this, and I can just grab a vine and pull it, and then in a couple days grab it from the other end. So I'm going to have to secure them to the trellis as they grow up. But that's okay. I also have my hummingbird feeder. I have a water fountain that goes when it's when the sun is out, and there's the panel, and I do clean it out every couple days. And a solar light just for fun. Yeah, but this right now, this is my front yard beds, raised kitchen garden beds. And then in the back is where my herbs are, well, closer to the house. There's herbs. Got sage. Ooh, it's getting ready to flower. I'm gonna go what that's gonna look like. There's some catmint. So pretty. Minds its own business. Sedum back there. Lemon balm does not mind its own business. It spreads like crazy. So does this rose campion. That spreads a lot. This is bee balm. It likes to spread too. And there we go, some dianthus. I like that contrast. And I love contrasting leaves. So I don't mind these competing with each other. Underneath our Japanese maple. There's more sedum. And then over here is some mint. We have mint and the rose campion and some chives. And some more mint. Some Siberian irises. Ooh, my wheelbarrow here. Ouch. Some vinca as ground cover. There was nothing under here, under this Japanese maple. Nothing. So I started adding things. Oh, there's a little bit of snow in summer. Kind of got crowded out a little. Here's some fennel. And fennel and the dill I like for the butterflies. More fennel, and this is grown on its own. I did not have to plant it. It reseeded by itself. Last year I found like, I don't know, 7 caterpillars at a time, swallowtail caterpillars at a time on the fennel. I just love it to leave it there. And again, I love the contrast in leaves. That makes an interesting garden. You have very fine leaves and solid leaves. You have dark, fine leaves and light, solid leaves. And then you have sword leaves with some color. So I love the contrast. And then over here we've got some rue. The rue has just spread like crazy. More fennel. I have seen swallowtails around, so I need to look for them. And in here somewhere, I do have a path. I think it goes like along here. So I could clear that out without feeling bad about ripping any plants out. I call it, I haven't named this garden, but it's almost like a, oh yeah, there's a fennel over there too, right? There in the middle. I kind of like, it's like a free-for-all garden. It's kind of like an evolutionary garden. It, you know, whoever wants to rain can rain. It's not going to hurt anything. And it's surrounded by concrete. There's concrete outside the mudroom door, concrete from the driveway, concrete from the sidewalk. So everything in this area is self-contained, and it's filling out on its own, which I really love because That means I don't have to weed. There have not been a lot of true weeds in here. I pulled those, so I'm not sure what they are. I do have a little bit of nightshade and some volunteer maple trees, which I don't want those. I have to pull those out. But otherwise, all of these are kind of doing their own thing. And it's going to maintain itself, which I love. And I don't have to do anything to it except enjoy it. My cat loves it. He likes to come out here and hang out. And so it's like a cat garden. And then I do have a little cat peeking his head out right there. But people will say, oh, don't plant vinca, which is periwinkle. And again, because this is contained, I mean, it's growing over the sidewalk here, but I can cut that anytime. It's not a big deal at all. It's easy enough to maintain. There's some chives there. And I have not had to do anything to this. This is nice. And it's shading the roots of this Japanese maple. It's also catching the water for the Japanese maple. Any water that happens to fall when the wind blows. So I don't mind. I kind of like this garden. It just does its own thing. It's the epitome of lazy gardening. I would say the only thing that's annoying, well, besides lemon balm everywhere, and there's a path, and it leads up to the rain barrel. But really the only thing that is annoying is when these bee balms start flowering, and if it gets windy, they start flopping over a little bit. But other than that, I just really like this garden a lot. I thought I had some blue flowers in here. They might not have made it. Again, survival of the fittest, I guess. That's fine. And every now and then there's pop color. And these rose campions here, they're soft like lamb's ear, but their flower is like the dianthus, like this color, but it's on this very, very tall stalk. So then you have all these little pink floaty things, which is nice. I really like that. And I'm trying my hand at clematis. Looks like the lemon balm is deciding to shade the roots. But I did notice, comes up here to my, what do you call it, railing for the porch. Look, I got some flowers. That's exciting. Hello, little clematis. I am glad that you are excited. Clematis. I don't care what you call it. We all know what you're talking about. Oh, and there's some buds. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. That's pretty cool. This was a rock garden, and it has been taken over by whatever this green thing is. I did have hens and chicks in here somewhere. I got to get rid of that thistle, not with these gloves. The thistle. There's some, oh gosh, prairie coneflower, I believe it is. So, and there's grass back there, but I can pull those out easily enough. That's exciting. I love the clematis. Hello, clematis. Oh, there's one there too. Hello, little clematis. And I hope, and probably will happen, I hope it goes all the way up. That will be exciting. We have winds coming. I don't know if I can tuck it in here. I'm going to try and tuck it in a little bit there. Maybe protect it from the wind a little bit. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, that might help. We'll see. And then I bought this cool flower, which, what is it called? I don't know. But it's vining down here. I don't know. Lophos, wine red from Suntory. It's Lowe, Lophospermum arubis, botching that up pretty well. Full sun to part shade, up to 84 inches, and right now it's just in this corner here, and it's a little heavy. It's got some rainwater in there, but it's just happily growing. I love these, and I think the hummingbirds probably do too. And then this garden here, this is like garden that kind of takes care of itself, sort of. But I've got bee balm. This is Jacob Klein bee balm. It's red. A little bit more, I think it's salvia over here. Got some strawberries from the ground cover that I put in. A lot of thistle. I gotta take the thistle out. There's some goldenrod in there. And some other things. I don't even know if I planted those in there. This was all, when we got the house, it was all gladiolas along here. Purple and orange gladiolas alongside the house, and that was it. So I do need to do some weeding. And I did have some coral bells behind the other flowers. I've got a coneflower here. It shades up. It kind of makes like a little island of tall. And then behind them is like a surprise coleus, which I really like. And again, we've got mega strawberry leaves in here. I mean, they really love it in here. But we're supposed to be getting a bay window installed this week. And I don't know, they're not going to care, probably. They probably aren't going to stay on the pathway. So I'm debating whether I weed first or wait until they're done and see what survives. We'll see. Oh, and some volunteer sunflowers. I love it when they volunteer. I don't have to raise their own hands. Some violets in the back, wild violets. I don't pull those. And there's some here because they're a host plant for some other butterflies. And then there's a big group right here of wild violets. And what I like to do too is I like to kind of grab a bucket, and when I pull the weeds, the thistle, that works too. The chickens love them. So I collect them up and then I give them to the flock. Again, using what's on our property to feed the flock. I can't remember what that is over there. I think it's a blue flower. I did pull out the native asters. Those don't look like asters though. I'll have to look it up in the back corner. But we'll see what happens. It's always like that. We'll see what happens. I did cut the grass back last year and found there was a brick edging, which I didn't know was there because the grass had grown up along it. So it's nice to have a nice edge there. So, that's about all I want to show you right now, I guess. I came out to hill the potatoes. That's how it always starts. You start off with one thing, you end up with other things. So, I'll show you. This is part of the native, what you call it? What do I call it? Wildlife hedge. Wildlife hedge. This was all grass. There was nothing here except that tree and that tree there. Japanese maple. Yeah, and that's a Norway maple. And then there is that Japanese maple shrub. There was nothing here otherwise. So, over here, this is a Heritage River birch. And it's going to be fine in that spot. People might say, well, it's going to get too shady. It's going to shade your vegetable garden. No. There's plenty of sunshine in the growing season. That's directly overhead. It's going to actually get a nice cooling effect. It won't be a bad thing. Down here are deciduous holly, and then chokeberry. Behind this chokeberry is the forsythia. It's like stacking effect. Here is a lilac. Here's a witch hazel. I never know when I'm going to need it. I have to figure out how to use it and how to make the astringent. But that's a witch hazel. Here's some German irises with the Jacob Klein bee balm, which the hummingbirds love. You might see the hummingbird. It might come by. And a bird bath with some water. Some native somethings there and native things behind the irises as well. And remember, if it's native, it likes it here. And it might be obnoxious because it thinks, hey, this is my home. I'm going to spread out, So if you believe in man spreading, your natives can do the same thing. So natives can be good for the bug population. Just understand they may be obnoxious and make arrangements for that. Make sure you got enough space for that. Behind the fountain, you can't see, is a Lenten rose. It was our first thing that bloomed this year, and then once it started getting a little bit warmer. That is a 9-bark. That's a native. It's maroon with white flowers. Oh, there's a tractor. Hello, tractor guy. And then, let's see, where are we? Oh, there's the fountain. And then down here is our berry patch. We've got blueberries, patio blueberries down here. And they're full. These bushes are full of blueberries. You've got to have more than one bush, more than one type of blueberry for them to produce berries. Understand that. And then we've got thornless raspberries, smaller versions, dwarf versions. Down here, they spread a lot. They're spreading everywhere. Understand that things can spread. Make accommodation for that. And then the shrub with these white flowers, these are thornless blackberries. And they make huge, huge berries. Really, really large berries. Probably at least the size of your thumb. At least this big. They're really, really big. And they're thornless. I don't like to get poked to get food. So that's why I like there. I have growing, obviously there's some milkweed. There's another, oh, let's see what's going on over here. Oh yeah, I'm feeding the Baltimore Orioles because I love wildlife, love it. And bird watching is a big deal for me. I love that too. Behind this is the Joe Pye weed, the big size. And then the shrubs in front, along the street, are, I forgot what they're called. These shrubs, blue junipers. Blue junipers. And deer do not like them. And they're pokey, but they do have berries for the birds. And they're going to grow up taller than all this chaos. So I kind of have like a mullet garden. You got business in the front and party in the back, which is fine. I don't care about it. Others might, but I don't care about that. And we do have milkweed. There's another native 9-bark back there. It's a dwarf kind apparently, which is too small. I probably need to pull it out and put something a little bit larger. Right, where'd it go? Where is it? Oh yeah, it's right there. Native 9-bark, too small. There's a spirea there. And I have a spirea in between the witch hazel and this 9-bark and that gap over there. Change colors in the fall. Pretty berries, pretty leaves, pretty flowers. And where the sticks are artichoke plants. They're very happy. They came back over the winter. I was excited. So there and there. And I like to put flowers through here. I put some cabbage up there last year too, which seemed to work out pretty well. But I love flowers, and especially cut flowers. And there's, oh, the hummingbird's back. Behind, there he goes, he's at the raspberry bush. That's right. I don't know if I can get him or not. Oh, where is he? Oh, shoot. Now he's gone. Anyway, the hummingbird was, yeah, he was like right, like near where that bird is right there. But it's pretty cool. If you want to see hummingbirds and you put feeders out, come like first thing in the morning, like when it starts getting to be light, and come at sunset or closer to when the sun's going down, because that's when they like to come out. It's kind of like fishing. They don't always like to be out in the middle of the day, but you can catch them in the morning and the night for breakfast and dinner. And yeah, I know this stuff is a mess right now, but I've been busy putting in gardens, helping maintain other gardens, making designs, doing quotes, doing consultations and things like that. And kind of like a mechanic, I guess. You know, mechanic's car is the last one worked on. My garden's the last one worked on. There's a lot more hedging on the other side of the driveway, all the way down to the corner here. Goes all the way down, and then it like makes an L. Now all of that, I actually had some people come, some guys come from a landscape place, and weed whack the heck out of it and then spread wood mulch. So it looks pleasing to the eye when you're at that intersection where that car is turning. It's pleasing to the eye. And I didn't have to do it, and it was kind of worth spending a little bit to do that. But eventually I'll get to everything else. So if you live on a busy road, that's okay. Use your front yard for food. Front yard for food, birds, butterflies. They still come. Oh my gosh, you should see all the butterflies in the summer. They don't care about the traffic. The birds don't care about the traffic. They still come and go. The insects don't care. So use your front yard if it's too loud, if it's on a busy road. Use your front yard for growing produce and other things like that. Some people may ask about deer, and I do not have evidence of deer stopping by at all. I don't see any scat. I don't see hoof tracks. I don't see things getting eaten. So yeah, I'm not that concerned. When we didn't have any shrubs along here, it was all grass, and we didn't have fencing back here, back that way, a privacy fencing. We did see some deer scat. We did see some deer hooves. That was a long time ago, because we moved in here in 2019, and like I said, there was nothing here. That tree there, this summer blaze maple, that wasn't there. I planted that a couple years ago. Look how much it's grown. It's crazy. Brought it home in my Subaru Forester, and I think it was 8 foot tall when I put it in a couple years ago. But it's in a great place. It gets lots of rain because it's lower than the driveway. It's in a rainy place, and it's just very happy. It's not hurting our house, like sewers or anything like that, or drains. Nothing like that. I didn't want to put it close to the house because that can damage your stuff. But it also gets regular supplements of, the chicken bedding and things like that, and wood chips. It's got lots of wood chips. So we've only been here 5 years, and there's a lot that can be done in 5 years. I work full time at a computer job in the house on a laptop, full-time hours now. Now to be fair, when COVID hit, I could not get full-time hours, so it's probably about 20 hours, maybe 26 hours a week at my computer job. But once the lockdowns and stuff stopped, then it went back to regular. So you can make a decent landscape. And a lot of things I put on paper first. So before we even moved here, I knew I wanted privacy hedges that looked suburban-like on the outside. And then I wanted peaks of the other shrubs, the fun stuff, on the inside of it. So I did want to have a bunch of spring flowering shrubs, in between the privacy hedges. More like cherry trees, crab apples, and things like that, and poking out and giving a little interest, ooh, what's back there? But it didn't turn out that way. It turned out a little bit different, and that's okay. Let's see. There are 2 headaches here. One is this chokeberry. Loves it here. Loves it, loves it, loves it. People can grow this as a hedge, and that's probably what it's trying to do, is make a hedge. But I'm going to have to probably take that out, and or the forsythia behind it, because the forsythia is uber happy too. and they are running into each other. And I mean, the good thing is that there's so much shrubbery, the water gets captured easily. So I don't necessarily have to water at all when it is dry, because in this area, because the shrubs now capture all that water. And the other thing is, there is wildlife. There are a lot of different birds that come through here. So when I sit out here, I can see them, which I really love. I love that so much. Anyway, I came out to hill the potatoes. I'm sure the chief is wondering where I'm at. And if you made it this far listening to rambling, God love you. But look at this. I love how it moves too in the wind. And then there's some leaf contrast right there. Right there. You've got the German irises with the sword leaves. You've got the bee balm with the fluffy leaves that move. Now, if you wanted chaos, but you didn't want it to look chaotic, you could put just German irises or Siberian irises in the front, or yucca, or anything that's got really straight leaves. You could put that on the front edges of the beds, and everything else beyond it could be crazy. And it wouldn't look crazy, because you'd have a footing of the sword leaves. That's it. That's all I got from here. So I do sit out here sometimes, and the hummingbirds come in, come up close. And it's pretty cool. Sometimes they're fighting. Sometimes there's more than one. So be it. Alright, that's it. All I got. Careful with the winds. Make sure you secure everything down. Bye.